in your opinion and in your expert opinion, what is manipulation? Because we all have our own, but we want to hear it from yours.
Manipulation is the art of getting somebody to do something or to have a certain perspective for your own benefit.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a selfishness in it.
Can we call it something like influence? Can that work, or influence is different?
Influence mostly is a bit positive. However, you know, those two terms are interchangeable.
Okay.
We use them interchangeably.
Yes.
Most of the times. And there's manipulation that happens also for the good.
Yes.
You know, the way we manipulate our children to eat mbogas.
So let's put it out there. There is good manipulation and bad manipulation.
Yes. Though I really didn't want to use the good manipulation
but,
and bad. I wanted to use the good as influencing.
And
when we have manipulation, most of the time is with selfish intent.
Okay. So the other one is more like the healthy kind?
Yes.
Okay, the influence.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to call influence the healthy manipulation. Yes. And now when we mean the negative, let's call it manipulation.
Yes.
For the purpose of the conversation.
Yes, please.
Now, you've said this healthy, and let's put the healthy one aside.
Yes.
Let's talk about the manipulation that some of us, when we hear this word, we think like it's a very big elephant in the room. I've heard people say there's subtle manipulation and there's the one that is so obvious. What is the difference between those two?
Subtle manipulation, and I think most manipulation is subtle.
Okay, it's not so obvious.
Yeah, manipulation mostly is subtle.
The obvious one is bullying.
Yeah, the obvious one now is bullying. You can see.
Okay.
Or somebody attacks you physically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is that why it's manipulation? Because it's subtle?
Yes.
Okay.
That is why it is manipulation. It is subtle, and most of the time we don't even recognize when it's building up. By the time we realize that we are manipulated, or we've been especially emotionally manipulated, it has built up, and now it is really affecting us.
Yes.
Because it is subtle, we give it benefit of doubt. We ask ourselves, could it be? And then you say, no.
This person likes me, they love me, they're my friend, my sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
My mom. So it is so subtle. By the time you realize it's happening, you're deep in it. Okay. Yeah.
Wow. So then that now begins to make me wonder, what then does manipulation look like in a relationship with your partner or with a parent or at work or in a friendship?
Okay. With our parents, mostly we realize it is manipulation when we are adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, it's not the first time they've been manipulating us. It means that they've been manipulating us for so long.
Yeah.
And there are some of us who have not even recognized.
So we've just become smarter. And why is that? That's when we're like, what is my mother doing? What is my father doing?
If you're self-aware,
okay,
you might recognize it as now for what it is.
Yes.
It is manipulation. But if you don't even take time to reflect, you will not call it manipulation because, it's my mom. How can I even think that she can be manipulative?
You've made me start thinking if I'm manipulating my own child. Till I'm like, huh? Am I doing it without knowing?
So some do it without knowing. Some have done it for so long that we have parents that just do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now when they want money, they manipulate you into getting money. Either through guilt or either through a sob story. I'm supposed to go somewhere and you see it is so far away. I need to take a matatu from here to there. And then you say, I'll bring you a taxi. And then you go there.
And someone would say you're meant to take care of your parents. It's your responsibility. That's what you're supposed to do.
But
yes.
Through a taxi? That is where you're supposed to see that.
You can do that. But you see, they're not asking for that need.
It's different when I say,
they're not asking
can I
for
get
that
a taxi?
Need.
Yeah. Than going through the channel of I'm old, I'm this, I'm that.
So some parents will not ask for that need that they ask. It's the complaints that they will talk about that makes you now have to give them money. It is comparing you to the neighbor's child that you see that one, what he does to the mom. The mom does not even take a matatu.
Na mimi
nimekusomesha,
natembea tu.
So there's comparison. It just leaves you with, you feel guilty.
Yeah.
And you're bound to do it.
Yeah.
So we are not saying we don't do it for our parents.
Yes.
But how the request comes, you're feeling compelled to do it. So that is how parents do it. In a relationship, and this goes even in marriage, in a relationship, there's so many ways that we get manipulated. And still, the thing that comes across is guilt, name calling, shame. So those statements that make you feel shameful, that make you feel guilty, I did not expect this could come from you.
Or when a
Somebody told me that the other day. Juu nilimwambia ukweli. So they are trying to manipulate me.
Yes.
I
Look at how you've had that
swear.
aha moment.
Yeah, because they were like, hey, they were like, I can't believe somebody like you. I'm like,
Yes.
honey, what am I? I'm not a god. Am I a god?
Yeah.
That's manipulation.
It is.
And how about in the relationship? Now that we've seen how our parents can manipulate us.
So in a relationship, such statements,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
Yeah.
if you loved me, you wouldn't have. So there's always proving that you love them.
Yeah.
There's always you walking on eggshells. You have to think about what to say and what to do because you know that their emotions are more important, or you don't want conflict.
Oh, yeah.
Now you get to a point that now everything that you're doing is to avoid conflict. You know, at times it's bullying, sometimes it's outright bullying.
Yes.
At times it's name calling.
Yeah.
You know, using your weakness, using the vulnerable things that you told them against you again when you start fighting. Making every time going to the archives, you know.
Unakumbuka.
So
Like
every
that
time they have to take you back to that place that to show you are not a good person.
That you did something wrong 2 years ago, a few
Yes.
months. Yet we pretended we had forgotten each other.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's that guilty tripping every time. And I think the major one is you lose the sense of self. Now you start doubting yourself, you know. When I go to hang out with my friend Karigo, I'm feeling guilty. I want to hide, you know, because every time he tells me, because there's isolation also.
Okay.
He tells me,
You're spending too much time with your
Yeah.
girls and not
And
your
she's not-
family.
she's not a good girl. Can you imagine what she did? And every time I'm told this, so hata mimi najishuku.
Okay.
So when I have to spend time with you, I hide. Or if I do it, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
You start feeling guilty about the things that you ordinarily did without guilt, but now they make you feel guilty. You start feeling shame about the things that never made you feel shame, but now you do. Because the person that is with you has used them so oftenly and has made you feel like you are wrong. And this is where also gaslighting comes.
Yes.
And gaslighting is when I confront him and tell him this is what you did, they deny the reality. They deny my reality.
So gaslighting is a form of manipulation.
Yes.
It's not physical. There's
Yeah.
nothing physical.
Yeah.
It's a form of manipulation. And you start thinking, am I insane? You know?
Yeah.
And at times, when we are in a manipulative relationship,
Yes.
and we can't point our finger to exactly what, because you know, it is so subtle. At times, you can't even point your finger to it.
As sometimes as you're saying, you're doubting yourself. Imagine, maybe I did this.
Yes. Then people start thinking, I think my mental health is in problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we had a
I need
question
to-
earlier today. Someone said something and I was saying, maybe this person is being manipulated. This particular man wrote
Yeah,
a message
yeah.
and he was saying that he has a
Let me read
terminal.
it for you.
Yes.
Okay.
He has a heart condition and he feels like his wife is justified in having an affair. So her physical needs are met. And he's saying, is it right for him to think this way?
And this are not the first time we've had such questions where people say, you know, I am never available, so maybe my partner is doing this, or because I'm not present, because I work far. Could that be a form of manipulation? Someone trying to use subtle to make you feel guilty about things
That are beyond your control.
Yeah, sometimes. But though when, terminally ill people, when we see death, I think it clears our lenses, kidogo.
Oh.
Yeah, because, all of us will die, but we always feel like we will not.
when you're close to it, or the reality is here.
Wow,
Yes.
Jackie. Thanks for that reminder.
We're always living like we want.
Yeah.
So at times when we see death and it's a terminal case, yes, now we can, because now we know that we are you know.
So it's like I'm setting myself free and allowing you to.
Yes, some can do that.
Me, I think I can't, Jackie. Me,
Some can do
till
that.
death do us part. Yeah, I catch you.
How do you know?
Okay,
Who asked her that question? How do you know?
Till death do
Do
us
you
part.
have eyes everywhere?
The shift.
Me, I'm a jealous woman.
The
I say
shift
this
of
and I
a
don't even
terminal
like-
illness,
Yeah.
I think is totally
different.
it's totally different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different. So that is why I wouldn't want to say his is manipulation because of the phase and season that he is at.
Okay.
I was of the opinion that he needs to get help.
No,
Like
They
first,
see-
like
you-
like
you
talk to
see-
a counselor or something.
you see life differently, and they can talk to a counselor so that
But
they
still,
know
they
how
will
to
not
do
change
it,
Yeah.
or how to do it in a healthy
Way, yeah.
because his concerns are valid.
Wow. Okay, cool. Now tell us how manipulation looks like in a friendship before we go to work.
Okay.
I know
Good.
that's Duchess's favorite.
No, I'm just wondering why did you have to bring that in conversation? She just had to bring work. But anyway, let's go
No,
into
but see, there's
friendship.
manipulation at
Yes,
work.
yes,
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Friendship.
In friendship, you know, people who are manipulators like to be the center of attention. Yeah. The world revolves around them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've sent my friend this poster. I think she's back. She's listening to this show. I called her manipulator over the weekend. And thank God you came to
What did she
explain.
do?
No, I feel like she loves being a center of attention.
Yeah.
And she pulls people out to do that. So when I call it out, I look like, I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
So, but I've seen how she behaves with her family members.
Yes.
Guilt tripping.
Yes.
So this poster I sent to her, she was like, wow, Barbara. I was like, you need to plug into this show. Because you think I'm crazy. I
Yeah.
want to hear it from someone
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
So they
Wow.
love being the center of attention. Now that comes with a lot in friendships. The way now sending people, making a lot of requests on
Yeah.
you and expecting that you will do them. No matter what you have on your hands, you need to stop what you're doing and do my request. Yeah. When what they want,
Needs
they
to be
want
done.
it, yeah, and they want it now. And it's more important than you. You know?
Yeah.
And for them also, remember, they will not hear you. They will not listen
Yes.
to your story that much because their story is always
It's about them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's about them. If you start saying about you went to Mombasa and got a sunburn,
Yeah.
oh my God, they'll come with a story that is bigger
Way
than
more.
you. Yes.
I was in Watamu last week. She did that to me once.
That
I was like,
chick. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, she is a
Yeah, I'm
manipulator.
thinking, guys ask me, how's the holiday? I'm like, wait, it was this, is that? You know, ask guys when we were there last month. I'm thinking like, oh my God, it was my question, my story.
Could it also sound like I would be telling a friend, Maze, I did a 10 km. Then they say, now me the other day I did a 14 km. But
Yes.
the stories are about me.
So every time there's competition of anything, you know, even trauma competition.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know?
But why don't we see it as friends? Because like, is that also their aspect of self-awareness? Because I can't stand somebody who's making every conversation about themselves.
You know, also the
Why?
aspect
Yeah.
manipulation has an aspect of you and the capacity that you have of being manipulated.
Yes.
Oh.
So the degree is different in people.
Yes.
What does that mean though?
Some people are more susceptible to manipulation than others.
And why is that?
That has a lot.
Okay.
Our childhood. Yeah. Especially our childhood.
Validation.
Yes.
Fitting in,
Validation, people
formal.
pleasers. You know, if that's what you have codependent habits. If that is you, you're more susceptible to manipulation.
Wow.
And manipulators can see those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are
And
they
they
like
can be
always
there.
praying?
I don't know if they're praying or they just like magnets. These two magnets can attract each other.
If you're joining in, we are the adults in the room and we're talking about manipulations from causes to signs to how it looks like with a bit of example. I'd like you to plug into this conversation and you can do so through our stream www.spicefm.co.ke. If you have a question or a query, you can channel it through our WhatsApp line 01102 or our social media handles SpiceFM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember, we're not talking alone today as the other adults. We have another adult who's come in, a psychologist, a life coach, Jackie Care. So I want you to tell a friend, especially those ones if you think your spouse is manipulating or your friend, to just listen to those gems. And we come back. She's going to giving us examples of how manipulation looks like in the workplace, and most importantly, the causes. And I like the fact that she talked about that some of you are subset. If you're just joining,
Sure it was not you who was manipulating.
No, we're
almost
You know,
she has pointed
the one who points the finger.
Shanice, I know your people are listening. You know the story that went down. But anyway, if you're joining the conversation, maybe you are the manipulator. And I like that we're having this conversation because it brings us to light and it gives us a aha moment to self-reflect. Before we get into self-reflections and back to the conversation, the Shy Mistress have been talking about oral hygiene. And some of you have been paying attention. Some of you are wondering, Mom, we're oral hygiene, Nini.
Yeah.
We are sensitive. As much as we're doing other things for elections, we want you to go to the queue of the line when you're smelling well, you have good breath.
Yes.
Imagine, my darling.
Yes, and you know your kids are going back to school, or some have already gone back to school.
Yes, summer holidays.
Yeah,
Depending on your pockets.
Harry, how you know when I was growing up, when I was growing up, I went to a public school in primary, and it was a very good school. That's why I learned how to swim. But I remember we used to go to the mall, and we used to see boys and girls from those schools. Umuzita?
I know they're on summer holidays.
Yeah, those ones that are on summer holidays.
Yeah.
And
I have a nephew who told me yesterday, I'm like, why are you not asleep? I saw him online. I'm on the summer holidays till September. And I go, my yo, hey.
And let me tell you, I used to see them and I used to think, oh my gosh, Aki God, why didn't you bless my parents with money? Surely. However, the reality of life is you all have the same teeth.
Yes. Depending
when we are brushing our teeth, we use the same toothpaste, Aqua Fresh gel, for strong gums and healthy teeth, and fresh breath. And I realized that you need to teach your kids the value of oral hygiene. Let them know that they can be who they want to be, but they can also be with fresh breath and strong teeth.
Yes, that one, no one can
That one we
manipulate
don't
you about oral hygiene. You know that you need it. You know that it's important to you. So make a point of acquiring or purchasing Aquafresh fresh gel.
Yes.
If you're just joining in, I am the Duchess of Economani. In studio, we have the Shy Mistress and Coach Jackie Care, a psychologist and a life coach. And we're talking about manipulations from signs, causes, how it looks like from family, friends. And before we went on the break, you were supposed to touch on how manipulation looks like at the workplace. What are your thoughts about that?
Manipulation also occurs at work.
Yes.
Yeah, and it can be very toxic. This the manipulative workmate. Let's call her or him the manipulative workmate.
Yes.
First has unsincere charm, superficial charm.
Oh,
wow.
They
yes.
look
They're
like
charmers.
they're charmers. They're concerned about you. They're friendly, and
They have your best interest
Yes.
at heart.
And with that, they collect all the information they need from you, and that is the information they use against you
To throw you under the bus.
throw you under the bus.
Yes.
Or this is the person that now others will tell. If there's an important meeting, they'll say, "I'll tell her,"
And they never tell you.
and they never tell you.
I'll share the email.
I'll share the email.
Na hakuna.
Na hata kutumia email.
Then you
Yeah.
don't show up or you
You
don't
show
what
up,
is expected.
and it affects your job. It also appears with people who don't negotiate fair. At times at work, you just need to negotiate about the workload, what to do, and even maybe just negotiate about money.
Yes.
They'll not negotiate fair.
Yeah, that one I totally agree.
They will overburden you with their load. They will overburden you or expect so much, but give you so little. So there's unfair negotiation.
Okay.
There's also just bullying.
Yeah.
Bullying does not end in school. Bullies also finish school, and at times they don't.
And they get A's.
I like that. Yeah.
And they don't leave it at school.
It's true.
They carry it on.
They carry it on at times to adulthood. So
Yes.
there are adults who will still bully you at work, make you uncomfortable at workplace, call you names, the names that you don't want, or the names that make other people in the office laugh or make fun of you.
Yeah.
That is also, it's emotional manipulation.
Yes.
It gives them power, just the way it did in high school, but it lowers you
Yes.
at the office place. So that is also part of manipulation at work. There's also the fact that you can be overloaded by work. This may be a product of both you as a person and the manipulator, because you don't know how to say no.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't want to lose your job.
No, at times it's not even, it's just also the horizontal line. It's not that it's a boss, you know?
Does that lateral?
Yeah, the lateral line
Yeah.
of work. You
Yeah.
know, when somebody
Colleague,
wants to
peers.
go to do something, your peers. You say, okay, fine, I'll do it for you. Okay, fine.
wow.
I'll hold fort for you.
Oh yes,
while
I
you go
see
and do
other people
something."
carrying other people's handbags. Yeah, I've seen. Why are you lying and you're laughing and you know I'm talking the truth? I mean, I shame the devil. I've seen. Other people think they are superior than others.
It's true. It's true.
Natukotu ni moja lateral.
It's true. You know, I forgot about that one.
Mimi sijui kesho kama mnarudi
I'm
job.
telling you. Unajua si
Truth
mimi
and
ni
facts.
Duchess.
Oh, she's the Duchess.
I'm the
Very
Duchess of Ikolomani. Hey,
Yeah.
me sidanganyi.
No, but I agree. Truth and fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
Is that part of also manipulation?
You
Yeah,
know,
when you
because you're
speak-
an
you know, this
adult.
when
type
you
of
speak-
manipulation, that is what I was telling you.
Yeah, when you
is
speak
is
truth
an
and
aspect
fact.
of both of you.
Yes.
Even the manipulated one.
You have allowed yourself to be in
Yes.
that situation because as an adult, Jackie, we're in the same lateral
Yes.
position. What am I doing carrying your handbag?
Yeah.
Why am I running like a small puppy behind your back? What is happening?
You're being manipulated.
Exactly. And maybe you're not seeing, okay, or you're seeing as you're saying,
Yeah.
but there's something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your handbag. Carry
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.
It's not ours.
You've
at
not
times-
hired someone to do that.
Yeah.
At times in workplace, it can be just verbal. You know, this it's not subtle. Verbal intimidation. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, it can either also be by your boss. It can also be by your peers. Just verbal intimidation, and it makes you feel less of a person at work.
What does verbal intimidation look like?
Verbal intimidation is okay when we have a show like this and she tells you, I don't think you can do this. You know, or you're new at a place of work and everybody's telling you, hi, you know, the last person that was here was fired. You cannot do this. You cannot stay here. So it's
You know, I'm the
Inakweka-
one who's just keep helping you keep your job. I see a
Yes.
lot of managers putting across, and people have also said
In
that
fact, that's a very common statement
Yes,
where,
yeah.
you know, if it wasn't for me,
you wouldn't be
you wouldn't
here.
be here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the one who goes and speaks on your behalf.
You know, people don't like
You're
you.
wondering, what's going on? What's
So
happening?
it's verbal. You're told.
Ah.
It's verbal. And remember, manipulators also like to gossip about people, yeah?
Oh yes.
To get info.
Yeah.
So they can also just gossip and make your life miserable and isolated in the office.
Is giving false narratives
Yes.
a part of manipulation?
Yes, because it is, what is the reason behind the false narrative? To make me look good. Manipulation is the art of me using techniques that will benefit me.
Yeah.
Yes.
When a boss instills fear on an employee,
Karigo, you need your job tomorrow.
no, I'm just, but I'm speaking for the nation.
John, yes, I know. Yes,
I am on SpiceFM. I'm speaking for the nation.
for our constituents.
Yes,
Yes.
I am speaking on behalf of the
Ask
nation.
your question.
People in Lodwa, Malindi, Lamu, I'm speaking on behalf of them. If your boss, what was I saying?
Let me give you.
Oh.
Let me give you a
You
breather.
made me lose my
Because
thoughts.
then I come back so you can just have a smooth conversation. If you're just joining in, we're talking about manipulation, and it's done in different ways. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's verbal, sometimes it's emotional. Many of us, sometimes we don't realize we are in manipulation spaces or we are being manipulated. And today, as we were having this conversation with Coach Jackie, you might find yourself in that particular place. If you have a question, I'd like you to plug into our social media handles, SpiceFM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Send in your question, send in your query. She can be able to justify or give you a better understanding than maybe what I could have given you or this shy mistress. Remember, the question is, or the conversation is, manipulation in our workspace, relationships, and in our lives. You're listening to Spice FM. The show is The Adults in the Room. A very good evening to each and every one of you. If you're just joining in, this is Spice FM. The show is The Adults in the Room. It's exactly 9 o'clock. We're talking to Coach Jackie Kerr, a psychologist and a life coach. And the conversation is manipulation, from causes to signs to how it looks like to who can be manipulated, from our family members or family settings, relationships, friends, and workplace. Before we went on the break, we were dealing with manipulation in the workplace.
Yeah.
And Karigo, you had a question.
Yes, my question is a form of manipulation when your boss tells you that, if you don't perform this task, then you're done.
I think if it's true,
If it's not contractual.
okay.
Yeah.
If it's not contractual,
Like it's not on the contract.
then it's
not job
manipulative.
related.
It's not job related,
That's manipulation.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's manipulation. I hope you've not gone through that.
No, I know how to say no, and I know how to keep people in their place.
Yeah,
But
and then also there's another.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Another manipulative trait that I think we need to mention that is very common. That is very common at workplace is, the people who also, will I call it bootlicking the boss's
Yes.
boots?
Sucking up.
Yes, those ones.
Continue.
Thank you. That is manipulative.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're doing it for their own good.
So
and
this
they
is
will
the
go.
employee
Yes.
being manipulative and trying to manipulate the boss's thoughts.
Yes.
Okay.
And also maybe against the peers.
Or
You
being
know.
a sweetheart.
Yes.
wanting
And then for
to
a
be liked.
position, wanting to be liked, that is
Yeah,
manipulation.
there are many people in the workplace
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And mostly when they go there, they have to talk about somebody.
Ooh.
Yeah,
the
because,
peers.
because it's an exchange.
Yes.
They need to change. Ever heard of spies within
Wow.
companies?
Yeah.
We used to have them
And
in
they-
school.
yes.
And
Yeah.
I like what you said that many of these people used to do it in their younger
The
life.
bullying.
They've just carried it to
You
their
may.
next life.
Yes, you can carry it to your next life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or to your next whatever environment.
Yes. So
Okay.
those are also manipulative people in the workplace.
Okay.
And they exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
What causes manipulation?
First,
Or those ones who are being manipulated?
Goja, before we go to causes,
Yes.
let me ask. There's somebody who asked this question at 6:40.
okay.
So it was burning them. How does one recognize an emotionally manipulative person? I honestly feel that my sister is an emotional manipulator. But maybe I'm reading too much into everything.
Oh, but then it was an ask the adults. I'm saying hashtag
Yeah.
ask the adults. That's why we didn't answer it.
Let's go back to family. And you see, I remember you said that when you begin to feel that maybe you're
starting-
reading
yeah.
that's when you're actually being
There's
manipulated.
something.
So if you feel some type of way,
So trust
or
your gut.
or inferior,
Yes.
there must be something.
Yes.
Okay.
You're feeling guilt, you're feeling shame.
Yeah.
When they ask you for help, if you say no,
Yeah.
you're not at peace with it.
You're
Yeah.
doubting yourself.
You're doubting yourself.
Yeah.
Then your gut is telling you there's something. And most likely, there's something.
Yeah.
If you have to walk on eggshells around her, then you're being manipulated. Yeah? If you feel like you are obliged, you can't make up your own mind, you can't say no, you can't be you around her, then you're being manipulated. If at all everything revolves around her, conversations are around her, the support is one-sided, then there's manipulation going on. What I always say is, if you are in any relationship
Yeah.
that one person has control over the other, there's a form of manipulation going on.
Yes.
If there's no balance of power, or there's abuse going on.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that. And many of us never take that keenly. But I like the way you've opened our eyes in the sense of like, if there's no balance of power, actually,
Yes.
that's just the word.
And balance of power can
power.
be within siblings, parents, child.
Everything, any form of
Yes.
relationship,
Really?
even friendships.
Yeah.
So once you're feeling like, and I'll
Karigo,
tell you
you're being
often.
manipulated.
I'm being manipulated.
I've seen it. I've been telling her. Thank you for this conversation. You see, she's having an aha moment.
If somebody sends, if a sibling, okay, let me ask, if a sibling sends
Boy,
me,
you were talking a Karigo.
my sisters, wanajijuanga. If my sibling sends me a message in the WhatsApp group for the family that is directed for me, that has nothing to do with
Everyone else.
everyone else, as opposed to sending it to me kando, is that not manipulation?
What is the benefit?
The benefit is
That
for
she
them.
gets.
Yes, they want something from me.
And they want your other family members to see so that you don't refuse.
Thank you.
Now, one of the form of also of manipulators is we use others. You know, that is where this boyfriend that you tell, mi nimekuacha, goes and looks for your best friend
Exactly.
so that you can change your
Mind.
Karigo
Mind.
left me. Now what
Yeah.
is my
Can
what
you
is my
imagine?
business? I wasn't there when you
jaribu mconvince.
Yeah.
talk to her.
Unajua vile yeye anakuanga hivi me I did ABCD, so somebody else is supposed to go and tell you what to do, and they use somebody that they know
Has influence.
has influence. Yeah, that
Jackie,
you
what
cannot
if they
say no.
argue that I'm just looking for someone to assist me mend this relationship because
That is
others
okay.
are part of it.
Yes.
But these others are coming in form of like convince Karigo to take me back. I've cheated.
Yes.
I've done X, Y, Z.
Yes.
Now, where do we draw the line between manipulation and assistance?
Manipulation is when it is about them.
Yes.
Assistance, it is a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, they're willing to even hear you say, okay, fine, but I understand what
They
you're saying.
admit of
Yeah,
their
but
mistakes.
they can even allow you to say, I get it,
Okay.
but I am choosing not to be involved in your relationship right now. You go and talk to
Okay.
her, and they'll be okay with it, because manipulators most of the times don't want to take no for an answer.
Okay. Did you talk to her? Have you gone to see
Yeah,
her?
kila siku ataku hustle.
Okay.
Yeah, have you done it? Have you talked to her?
I like that. They don't take no as an
No,
answer.
they don't take no for an answer.
Meaning they don't respect your decision,
Yes.
your choices.
That is why they push the boundaries. They push the boundaries every
They push
time.
others
Yes.
to try and change your mind.
No, they push your boundaries and
Yeah.
cross your boundaries. Even when you say, I don't want ABCD, they will still do it.
You see, your boundaries, your people.
Yes.
Why are they cutting across?
And he or she knows that you're not supposed to involve other people in this business, but
Yeah.
they choose to do that.
Or alternatively, they know they wronged you.
Okay.
They know they wronged you. And at times, they don't tell you what they did totally.
Okay.
When they come and tell your friend, they package it.
That's the right word. Packaging.
Yeah.
Like you're crazy, you're overreacting.
Yeah.
This is something small.
Ati
Yeah.
imagine haikuwa ati so bad. Like hata sikumgonga sana.
Yeah.
It was just a slap.
Oh my God.
Sasa
And you know
slap
even
ni kitu ya ku-
even what you guys are saying is part of manipulation. You know, manipulation, somebody who manipulates you when you react to the thing that they're telling you,
Yes.
or the boundaries they're crossing, they tell you you're too sensitive.
Oh, Duchess.
Yes.
Haven't you?
You're too sensitive.
I've
So
been
you
told
can't-
I'm sensitive
you
by
can't
somebody who was
feel-
putting me down.
Yeah, you can't feel.
Karigo people have been really manipulated.
Yeah.
We need to ask ourselves why.
Yeah, and I know why.
Why?
I know
Those are the
why.
causes I'm asking. Why? Why
Yeah,
would someone
but me, I
behave
know
like
I
that?
have a problem.
Okay, that is Karigo. She knows why. But for the person listening and why would someone behave that way?
Okay.
Or what would influence?
Yeah,
why do
Yes,
folks
influence?
manipulate?
Yeah, influence. I'm trying to use the words that you
Yeah.
influence someone to try and manipulate others emotionally, physically, verbally. What brings them or makes them do that?
First, if you don't know how to speak about your needs directly to the person, you use manipulation. Some people do that because they don't know how to speak about what they need.
So it's a
from
form
you.
of communication
So
for
it
some
is a
people.
form of this ineffective
communication. Yes.
Yes. And then, like I mentioned before, our childhood.
Yes.
You know, one thing I always say: rewarded behavior is repeated.
Yes.
Yeah. If you reward bad behavior,
Someone
it will be repeated.
That's true.
because someone
If
thinks
you
it's
reward-
okay,
That's a tweet.
Yeah. If you reward good behavior,
it will be repeated. Yeah.
Now, if you're raised in a family where this child could push and throw a tantrum and she is rewarded. If he pushes the boundaries, and
They get what they want.
he knows it works.
Also, they grow up in a
They
place where
grow up
they
knowing-
will push other people's
Yes.
boundaries, whether it's disrespectful, and now
Yes.
they're adults, they don't care
No,
about it.
they don't.
Because it's something that has been inculcated in them from their
Yes.
early childhood.
Yes, and they can see that it was rewarded.
So what are you talking about right
Yeah,
now?
why would I try any other way? This is the way I used to get my way.
This is it.
Yes. Sometimes it is the child who pushes it and the parents reward.
Okay.
And if that was your childhood, you would do that. But again, if at all you saw in your house manipulation working,
Your mom or your
by
dad.
by modeling, and that is what they modeled. That when my mom manipulates my dad or manipulates us, then this is how she gets what she wanted.
When she cries, things go her way.
Yes. Then
I know someone who cries to get her way.
Where I stopped.
I
You see me, I'm here looking for comments, and I already know who is. I know who that someone is, and isn't that they are part of self-awareness?
Oh my God.
Right?
But we had that conversation,
right?
Because I knew she used to manipulate.
I used to
and I'm
cry.
like, why are you crying?
No, but I cry a lot though.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I realized I can use it
Yeah, she
to
realized.
get my way.
So she can cry.
Yeah.
We are like, okay, did
You
you
know,
really?
I can
one of the-
cry to get my, but I have to literally consciously stop myself
Yeah.
and ask myself, are these emotions hormonal, or are they because I was hurt, or is it because I want to get my way, or am I happy?
Yeah, because one of the signs of manipulators is they can cry on key.
Yeah. Yes.
they live here, they're fine. 15 minutes, and in 10 minutes, you find her at the reception. You're wondering, who hit her? She's going, Jackie did this. And I'm like, oh, Karigo, no. You're acting.
But to be honest, like
Yeah.
I realized I can get my way with crying.
Yeah.
But thank God for self-awareness, because I don't want to get
But
my
it
way.
was-
through
I don't
manipulation.
want to start counseling. I just wonder where you learned it. Was it
That-
a rewarded behavior?
Yes, that
Yes.
one is. I know is from childhood.
Yeah.
So it was a rewarded behavior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My mom did that all the time for me. I cried, I got my way, and I told her it is your fault.
So she
Now I have
realized-
a lot of work to do. I realized,
Yeah. So you see, rewarded behavior is repeated. So some people are manipulative because it was rewarded in
It
their
comes
childhood.
from way back.
Yeah, in their childhood, either by them, what they did, or modeled by parents. People are manipulative because they're liars.
woo.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
there are some people that are liars.
Yeah.
And if you are a liar, manipulation is part of the manipulation.
I
And
agree.
liars are, I think,
I agree.
Same
Siamese.
WhatsApp group.
I agree.
same WhatsApp group.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Some people are liars because are manipulators because they lack integrity. So they don't keep their promises. So they come and manipulate you
Yes.
instead. Now, the interesting one is sometimes you come from a social norm or societal norms or profession that requires a form of manipulation
Yeah, we know those
or
professions.
has embraced manipulation
Yes.
and it works.
And now some people have taken that behavior.
Sometimes they take it home once in a while also.
They forget it's a profession or it's on your
Yes.
work.
Like the way lawyers behave.
Mi sijasema mtu.
Tujasema
I will
mtu.
say law. In fact, nilitweet leo nisema don't date a lawyer unless you have no money and you need your
But
free.
there are those ones who are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some of the
And there are many
reasons.
professions that you're required to.
Yeah. To manipulate.
Yes.
Yeah. And you get used to the art. So at times, even when you with your friends, I think you automatically get into it without even realizing.
Like, be
that
very careful with salespeople.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some,
Because they
some
need
of
it.
them, yeah.
to sell at times.
Yeah.
But why is it they can't switch it off? Why is that? Because, if you know you're lying and you have to lie to do a task, you're being paid for it. That's fine. But you're going home to your kids, your wife, your friends. I mean, why are you unable not to switch off the button? Does it mean that you've always been a manipulator and a liar?
At that point, at times, it's not even that they're lying, because not all manipulation means I am lying.
Yeah.
It is, I am just using tricks and emotional tricks or
Avoidance.
It's just aspects of it. Even though I give you half truths, half lies
Yeah.
for the
Spice.
We're talking matters manipulation in friendships, in relationships, in even the workplace, in the environment, family members. And I'd like you, if you have a question, please plug into our social media handles, SpiceFM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're also going to be picking up your calls on 0719 012600. I have seen some of your questions. The Shy Mistress will be bringing them up shortly. However, let's just go back to what we were talking about. We had not finished. You'd mentioned some of the causes
Yes.
as to why someone would manipulate.
Yeah.
What are the others?
I wanted to add a last one, yeah?
Yes.
Sometimes we manipulate people through projection. We are projecting our own issues. You know, if I have trust issues, if I am insecure,
If someone cheated on me, my
yes,
past.
if I am that person, I'm insecure,
Yes.
I project to the other person and have manipulative behaviors of controlling them so that they don't cheat on me. But you see, it's not their issue.
So my insecurity, for example, or someone's insecurity could be projected
To their
my-
girlfriend or to
Okay.
their partner,
Okay.
because now you fear that they will leave.
And this other person will end up acting the way you
No,
want.
now you will manipulate them
Okay.
so that they act the way they are more trustworthy.
Okay.
Though these people don't have trust issues, it is you who has trust issues.
So it's like you're trying to project your feelings
Your
towards.
feelings and your fears, especially
Okay.
fears towards them. And because of those fears, you are controlling, you're manipulative, you are just causing havoc in this relationship. But it's because of your own trust issues or insecurity issues.
Jack, you know, have you been talking? I've been asking myself, my God, maybe we are living in a world of manipulation. And I think I've been manipulated. Sometimes I notice, sometimes I don't. It's like everything around us, if you're not careful enough, someone could try and take advantage of you.
Yes. Yes.
Sad. What are
Wow.
you reading? What was that question?
So now, before we go to the questions, let's talk about when now you are facing and you're experiencing manipulation. How do you deal with it firsthand? And I'll give you the example of the WhatsApp group. And one of my sisters attempting to manipulate me.
I thank God she's not listening.
Hata asikize shauri yake. The shoe fits, wear it.
Cinderella.
I said to her, I'm not, whatever she needed, I wasn't available and I wasn't able to give it. And, you know, I did not feel guilty.
Yeah.
But in the first few occurrences, I used to feel guilty.
Ah.
Honestly, I never used to know how to say no.
So you'd go out of your way to do it?
I would do it, but I'm feeling bad. I'm like, why am I doing this? And I don't want to do it. I don't have the time, the energy, or you're giving out money, or, you know. But I've learned to just put my foot down, but it took a whole moment and a while. So how do you deal with manipulation firsthand?
I think
In all aspects, work,
Yeah.
family relationships. Yeah.
the first thing is to recognize it and acknowledge it. Because remember, every time it comes, we push it away and we say, no, I'm just
can't
making
be.
it up. No, it can't be. So recognize it.
Yes.
And acknowledge that it exists. That these people are not treating me right. Now, if it's in friendships, in relationships, I am hesitant about parents because it depends with which parents you have.
Yeah.
But the next step would be
Yeah.
to talk about it.
Okay.
And it is easier to do that in friendships and relationships
Yeah.
than to do that with parents at times, depending with your parents.
Why is it difficult to do it with
Yeah.
parents?
Because of in our societal African place, and also
They're supposed to be respected.
yeah, and sometimes they will look at it as disrespect. So it might not be easy to outrightly talk to them about it
Or call them
directing, call them out on it. But you can decide to say that I don't like when you do ABCD. I'd prefer if you do ABCD in a calm, also respectful way.
Is distancing something that someone can try?
Yes.
An approach.
Now that is the other approach. Now after talking, you make requests when you talk. It's in your relationships, if it's with your parents, if you can converse with them, if it is in your friendships, you talk to this person and tell them, I don't like the way you treat me. I don't like the way you do ABCD, ABCD, ABCD.
Yeah.
I feel like you disrespect me. Now, what I would want you to take away from this conversation is, remember, all the sentences are I sentences.
Yeah.
It's not that
I feel.
you don't disrespect me. You unakuanga. Those don't work. So you are expressing I. So express that and make requests about how you want to be treated in future. Make resolutions with them about how you want to be treated in the future.
So you say the problem and make sure you
Yes.
use it, I feel.
Yes.
And then you also give a solution.
You give a solution or you give a consequence.
Okay. Also, give a solution and a consequence.
Yeah, that
so
if,
that this person.
if you speak to me like that, I will distance myself from you,
Okay.
or I'll leave.
So the person
I will not
knows
be in
what
that space.
you
Yeah.
look serious. You end up looking
Yes.
serious. Okay.
Yes. Then give it time. to see if it will be implemented. Most manipulators may say what you want to hear, but may not put it into action.
Yes.
So during that conversation, they'll say yes, 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 yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. And then don't put it into action. So give it time and watch.
Or that's why we need to give solutions and consequences.
Yes.
So that if they do not act on their word,
Yes.
you're ready to action the consequence.
Yes. And you can also remind them.
Okay.
Remember, we discussed about this, and this is what we agreed, that these are the lines we shouldn't cross. So if at all they don't implement or implement what you have agreed on, then now you decide the next step. What boundaries are you going to put to protect yourself?
Okay.
Are you still going to keep them as friends, but at a distance, or close, but this is how I'll protect myself from her or from him? So now you put the boundaries that you need to put across.
Yeah.
But I must add one thing that is very important. There, you need to ask yourself also, why am I being manipulated?
Okay.
So you need to also
Am
check.
I soft?
Yeah,
Is
check
that
yourself.
Yes.
Because the quote that we teach people how to treat us is true.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm a witness on that.
It is true.
Yeah.
You have to put your foot down on some
Yes.
issues.
What is it about you that is not putting their foot down that makes people feel disrespect you
Or
manipulate
entitled
you?
to do that.
Yes. Do you have people pleaser tendencies? If you have people pleaser tendencies, you're going to be manipulated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
then you're going
true.
to give so much to people. And yet inside, you are so resentful. You will not say no.
Yeah.
But after doing whatever you're doing and spreading yourself thin, you're going to feel so resentful on these people. The best way to give yourself to others is to do it from a full cup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of your kindness, but not out of obligation, out of, I need to fit into this relationship. You're not doing it because you want them to like you. That does not work. So if you have people-pleasing tendencies, you may need to work at it and find out where it comes from and resolve it.
Okay. Can I just hold that? Let me take
Yeah.
this question.
One sec.
Hello, Spice.
Hi.
How are you, Anthony?
Yes.
What is your question to Coach Jackie?
Jackie. My question is this.
Anthony, please reduce the volume of your radio or your gadget. We can hear a lot of feedback.
Okay. Hi. Yes. What I'm saying is this. Love. Hi.
Proceed, we are listening. Love.
Yes. Love is about giving out yourself. You need to be inaitwaje?
Hatujui, hebu tuambie inaitwaje?
You need to be vulnerable. Yes, you need to be vulnerable. If you cannot allow yourself to be vulnerable, you can't fall in love.
How is the question related to manipulation? Or your statement?
Yes, manipulation is this. Whatever people tell you, it is you who is going to decide whether it is right or wrong. Everyone, mtu akikwambia is a suggestion, but how you feel is for you. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I let Coach Jackie translate that. Yes, dear.
I didn't hear a question.
Oh, yes, we didn't hear a question, but he made a statement.
Yeah, but I had a statement.
Yes, what do you
And
propose
I think
about
I agree that we need to make our own decisions.
Yes.
And choose what is right and what is wrong.
Yes.
And maybe it comes to the last point I was making, that one of the things that you have to do to deal with manipulation is to have a strong sense of self.
Yes.
If you don't have a strong sense of self, then you don't have a solid identity.
Yeah.
You will meet anyone and you want to please them so that they can accept you, so that they can be your friends. And with time, you realize that even the things you used to like, you don't like anymore, you like theirs, especially in a relationship.
Yes.
You might lose yourself and start realizing the friends you had you don't have anymore. Now his friends are yours, or her friends are the ones that you call yours,
Yes.
and they are not.
In reality,
You know,
they were their friends.
Yes. The things that you liked doing, you don't do anymore. You just do the things that this guy likes or this woman wants. You find yourself also, your hobbies are no longer there. Your sense of self is stopped.
So would we say that was influenced? Because as if we were to take with what you and Anthony are saying, some people fall in love and they make certain changes and become very vulnerable. Now, would we say they were influenced to change, or something in them or they were manipulated to change, or they're just easily swayed?
When you lose your sense of self, there's a bit of manipulation.
Okay.
Yes.
So something
don't
must
think-
have been done to make you
And
go
you
towards
also,
that.
you also allowed it.
Okay.
So it's not a one person blame.
Okay.
So the other person may have manipulated you, but the question you need to ask yourself is, what is it about me that lost me? You know?
So in this context, manipulation could be a tag team or two people affair. We cannot always blame it on the other person, but you also played a role by allowing it to happen to you.
Yes. And
Okay.
when you get out of emotionally manipulative relationships,
Yes.
you may need to get support. And maybe that adds to the question that she asks.
Yes.
How do I deal with manipulation? At
Yes.
times, you may need to get support. You may need to get counseling so that you heal from the manipulation, because it comes with heartache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Self-esteem, self-confidence, finding you know. So you need to go and get support so that you get that, you rebuild that, but also understand, what is it about me that is easily manipulated?
Or that I find myself in such situations.
Yes, because yes, love is good, but we don't need to lose ourselves for love.
Yeah.
You don't need to lose yourself for love.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to take you just back about a few minutes ago when you were talking about when you need to recognize this is manipulation,
Yes.
give a solution,
Yes.
and also give a consequence.
Yes.
Let me give a scenario where I have seen men and women in relationships, in friendship, or whatever environment, could be workplace. So you highlight, you've recognized this is happening to me. And then you give a solution. I would like to be treated better, XYZ. I feel, you use the I feel statement. Now, when they've given consequences, many a times some people never really live up to that consequences. What brings that up, and how can someone get out of there? Because I've seen people say they have noticed they're being manipulated and they have a long list to say, she did, he did. But when they say when it comes to the consequence, they never get out. They say, I will distance myself. I will leave this relationship. But they've never left. They're there 10 years in and the process has proceeded. What has caused that? Is it that this person is overly influenced, or is it that what you're talking about, their character within themselves is what is keeping them in that manipulative situation?
It could be their character. It could be their perception of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they can't live, it's like they can't call their own bluff.
Yeah.
And their partner, umesema unaenda Wendy, you're always here. What will you do?
Yeah. It can also be about your childhood, why
Okay.
we stay. You know, the reasons why people stay are so complex.
Yeah, or allow certain things to happen to
Yes,
them.
are also so complex.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe you allow it because you don't know how to live.
Okay.
And that is why they are aware that it is manipulative.
Okay.
They are aware that it is abusive.
So they are aware of your situation.
They are aware.
Yes, they
It's
know
just the action.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, the action is what
you
they've
have
not
nowhere
done
else
it.
to go.
Yeah,
It is
maybe
me.
they have nowhere else to go. They don't know how to do it.
I'm your only friend. Things like that. Okay.
That aspect of being unable to live is where you're saying that you need to ask yourself why.
Yes.
Why am I always in this situation?
Yes.
And is
Yes.
it always a repeat pattern? Because I realize that, like, the people who are manipulating me, I allowed.
What is going Jackie said something about reward, remind me.
Rewarded behavior
Yeah.
is repeated.
Yes.
I realized that. I allowed it. I allowed it, and it was for a specific reason. And it had nothing to do, by the way, with people pleasing. It was mostly like, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want you to think I'm a bad person.
Oh my God, I like that one.
That one was the hugest one for me. Like, mi sitaki uone ni kama mi ni mtu mbaya, because mi najua mi si mtu mbaya. I had to really do a lot of reconciliation to know, with or without you, I know I'm not
okay.
about person. But what is that thing?
It's a people pleasing.
Wow.
That
You
is
want
why
to
you
fit
don't
in.
you don't want to be a bad person. You just want to be a good person.
Because we grew up knowing bad people are not nice. They are not accepted.
Or if you say no, it means you're a bad
Yes,
person.
in fact,
that
that
one
is
was
the
a
thing.
big one for me.
Yeah.
Being a good person
Yeah.
is not equal to being a people pleaser. As a good person, you are allowed to set boundaries. As a good person, you can say no. As a good person, you can choose yourself. Yeah. You don't lose yourself and call you a good person. That's not it.
Hiya, we now go to the WhatsApp. I see people have some few problems.
Let's take a question before we take a breather.
Hi, adults. Can we say this is manipulation? My boyfriend wanted me to visit him last weekend, and I couldn't because my boss had said some repairs being done at the office on Saturday. It ended so late that I was unable to travel. Then that evening, my child fell ill, so I could not travel at all. We live in different counties because of work. So yesterday he was telling me that he felt like I don't want to go and see him. Yet I had given him the reasons as to why I couldn't travel.
Why couldn't he come?
I felt, by the way, Shindwe. I felt like,
Okay,
by
that's
the way,
no, it's
like I didn't think about that because this is the second time I'm reading it. I'm like, anyway, I felt like he wanted me to visit him regardless of my situation. Guys, regardless is not a word. We have this
You
thing.
had to say it.
She loves that statement.
We have this thing where if he visits me, the next time she goes to his place.
Auntie?
Yeah, we have this thing where if he visits me, the next time I go to his place.
Also, it's
So-
they reciprocate.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
her turn.
But she was not available. She couldn't do it because she had work and had to. He was sick, and he's like, "You don't love me anymore. You don't."
That is why it's for Coach Jackie. Because
It is, it is
I think Carrie got it.
manipulative.
I was
It
going to be
is.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is manipulative.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah.
Do people who are manipulated end up manipulating others?
High likely. And maybe the guy might not even know that is manipulation. So this is how
A
things are
child
done.
is sick here. I don't know why he's not
So this is
getting.
why
she had
things
to
are
go to
done.
work.
When
Maybe he's-
somebody makes you feel guilty about a choice that you have to make, your choice that you have to make, that's a problem.
Yes, and I like what you said in a previous link that you said, if it makes you uncomfortable, if it makes you doubt yourself, if it makes you feel question, it could be manipulation.
Yeah.
And these people are coming from a place where they're used to getting their way.
Yeah.
So regardless of what is happening, they're not getting.
Yeah.
Let me ask
And
you,
the
Jackie.
guilt-
And genuinely, if the child is sick,
Yeah, the
she had to
child is
work.
sick, yeah.
Those are two important things. This is
Yeah.
her job. This is her
Her
child.
toy, yeah.
And still, he's pushing those boundaries. As you're saying, if they're pushing those boundaries, they're not understanding. It's coming from somewhere. Yeah, you are being manipulated. Sweetie, tell him to come out.
And I think also for me, what we need to pick out is the. I don't have a word.
you can say it in your mother tongue. I'll translate.
Manipulation. They make this devastating statements. They're so big. Statements.
Agencies.
Like I didn't think you'd
I
be
didn't
like that.
think like that one. What did he say?
She said,
The boyfriend?
Then that evening, my child fell. So yesterday, he felt like I didn't want to go see him.
Yes.
Nilikuwa na feeling kama
So
hutaki
ikuna
kuniona.
guilt.
So all of a sudden, it's about him.
You chose.
Ah.
You chose. How could you?
yeah.
Yeah. It means
You-
you don't want to.
You didn't make me a priority.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Let me ask you, Jackie. There are days and times where I have felt guilty for putting my foot down.
Yeah.
Why is that? Again, this is not a session.
Now,
Only that
what
you-
You know,
happened?
Karigo, we are going to be charging you.
What happened?
because we
Jackie
clearly
and Abu
identified
Jafar.
that I used to be manipulated, and there's potential for me to be manipulated, but I've put my foot down
Yes.
because of self-awareness. However, I have found myself in situations where I have put my foot down, and then when I go home, I'm like, did I do the wrong thing?
Or was that
Yes.
necessary?
Yeah, or like, have I done something bad?
Yes.
Like my girlfriend, Vero, she'll tell you how many times she's had to say, "Mbona ushinda ukijidoubt?" I'm like, I just want to know I'm not doing the wrong thing.
You're not a bad person.
Yeah, I'm not a bad person.
Still
This-
the remnants.
Yes,
The remnants of
I
a
get
bad
what you're
person.
saying. This bad person syndrome. Could it be it was inculcated in us when we were growing up?
Yeah.
So that's why some of
Yeah.
us are carrying this thing
Yeah.
in our
And
lives.
you know, and
I
we-
don't want to be a bad
And
person.
we do it.
Yeah.
You know, we do it so subtle, we don't realize we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, you're a bad child. Angalia ule ni good child, lakini wewe ni bad.
Boy, when
Eh.
a bad guy, and oh my
Yeah.
God, we tell our children that is
Yeah.
very bad.
We start very young. So it becomes something that we really don't want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that time, when our parents are telling us we are bad people,
Yeah.
you know, it's for making just the choices that we are making at that time.
Yeah.
So you see, even the freedom for us to make choice at that time
That's
was
true.
not there.
was not there.
That's very true.
At that time, even using your voice, it's just you using your voice. The freedom to use your voice is not there. So if at all I'm a people pleaser, I have been manipulated, it means I did not have the muscle to stand my ground. I was a person who used to say yes, 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 yes. The day you have your self-reflection and
And you say
self-awareness,
no.
and you start saying no, it is a weak muscle that you've not practiced. That is why when you go home, you feel guilty.
We're talking matters manipulation, and I believe if you've been listening to this show, some insight has been shared or something has triggered you. Maybe you're a manipulator. Maybe you've been manipulated. Maybe you've also succumbed to it and you've given other people opportunities to manipulate you. I hope you've picked something and you can make changes. But most importantly, as Coach Jackie has said, be self-aware and do something. 0719-012-600 is the number to call. SpiceFM KE on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter is where we are opining on the conversation.
We have a question. We have a few questions. So
Okay.
this gentleman sent this question on Friday and he has said, please, can you tell me if this is manipulation? I have a girlfriend. We started dating in Form 2. So when we finished our KCSE, she joined university. I joined college. So this girlfriend of mine only cares about her education. Tanishaona shida. It's a long...
Can you go finish the question?
It's a long distance relationship. She's always busy. She no longer creates time for us. Her phone is always off when I call her. Like my plans when we started dating was to marry her one day. I have never cheated on her. I've never hurt her in any way. I always try my best to make her happy. I've even traveled just to see her. But when I reach Nairobi, where she always gives me excuses, I've traveled like 5 times just to see her. I don't know what to do. Like, ananitesa sana, what should I take? I have talked to her many times, but she never changes. Is this manipulation?
5 times. Hey, mapenzi wewe.
Kia Mungu.
We shall leave that question for Coach Jackie.
What
our thoughts? We are holding our
he's the one
thoughts.
manipulating. I think he's the one manipulating.
I don't know if it's a manipulation question.
Yes, I also
I
want to agree
don't
there.
know if
This girl wants to focus on her education.
or he is not hearing.
Exactly. And she's not into you. Aki, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's no longer into you. 5 times you have come and she's looked for an excuse.
Because her behavior is speaking something.
So he
But
needs
I
to
think
listen.
he wants to hear verbally. But at times people just behave their way, and you get it. I don't know if she is still as interested
Yes.
as he is.
Yeah.
And
She
at
doesn't know
times-
how to say it.
Yeah, and at times it's not because you're a bad person.
Now you're
You know,
using
we-
that bad person, good person
Yeah,
theory.
It's just seasons,
Yeah.
faces,
Ah.
times,
He needs to let it
She
go.
moved in Nairobi, so priorities are different.
priorities.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the seasons, yes, from 2 we
Imagine.
were, but sai pengine.
She's in campus, things are different.
They're even done with campus. Hey, from Form 2 back-
From 2. Hey, leave that one. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
alafu anaenda mara 5 na namkosa.
Uko na nguvu.
She is speaking. She is speaking. She's not manipulating.
Yes, she's telling you something. She just can't verbalize
I'm
it.
She's
sorry,
not
I'm not
verbalizing.
laughing at you. I'm laughing
Yeah.
with you.
At the situation.
So this lady says, just today, excuse me, just today he raised his voice at me. Then he hung up my call after I honestly, with calm, asked him a question. Why did he get harsh? Was it me?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Psychologist,
She wants to
you
know
get these things that
if
people
she's
just
being
questions there.
manipulated.
Hey,
Okay.
don't envy
Yeah.
your job.
It's
incomplete.
The question is started from, like we are starting to read it from a mid sentence.
Yes, that's
I feel like there's information that
it's being
Okay, she
Is
continues
missing.
to say in
Yeah.
the next tweet, how do you separate and close that chapter, a form of final closure, from the manipulative people that make you feel like nothing? I think she's experiencing a situation whereby somebody has been verbally abusive, I think. my understanding.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I asked him with a calmness, and then he just got harsh and hung up. He shouted at her and hung up.
Okay. For me,
And
I'd
she's
be-
asking, is it me?
yeah. But I'd be concerned with I'd ask, is it the first time he's done that? Or is it something that he does every time? Has she ever asked why he's shouting at her?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what's happening?
What's the
what was that
backstory?
about? Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that about? So that we don't start saying, oh my God, if he
What if
shouts
it's
at
a
you,
repeat?
it's manipulation.
What
And
if it's
if
a
you don't know the
repeat pattern?
backstory?
If it is a repeat pattern, it could be. And by that time, what does he want? What is the end goal for him?
Yeah.
So if it's a repeat pattern, she must sit and connect what
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
with it in this pattern, you know?
Read the question
So
for
because the
Dennis after
question
that.
is,
One sec. There's a question that somebody had asked about. Hello, Spice. A very nice topic. My concern is, what does my boss gain whenever he or she manipulates me? They want to know, what are they gaining?
You talked about some of it. I don't know if he was
is
listening.
it power? Is it control? Is
Yeah.
it to show you who the boss is? Is it ego?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Is it makes him look good? Do you have that boss that goes and takes credit on your work, and it's you're the one who did everything? Because if he gets the credit, he gets more money, he can get more promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Frank says 2 hours in a relationship, unaambiwa happy 2 hours anniversary. She gives her kid the phone, ati anaongea na mtoto wako jioni, ati gasi meisha, umtumie 3K urgently. The following day she calls crying, ati kiateka amefunga nyumba, ako na rent arrears za 15K. Ako na okoa airtime ya 500 na umlipie bundles za 250.
Huyo ni con woman.
How do is this a form of manipulation?
Love bombing is a form of manipulation.
Define for us love bombing.
When somebody overly expresses love for you, 2 hour anniversary
In a short
hello
period, yeah.
Hello, babe,
2 hour
Han,
anniversary,
my love,
Yeah.
and then
my wifey.
So at times, and it's also there in abusive relationships. You find that when they hurt you, they love bomb you,
Yeah.
and then you put your guard down again. They hurt you, they love bomb you, and that is why people are afraid to leave, because at times they're hanging on to the love bombing.
That
You know,
fantasy.
yeah, you guys are saying he's bad, but my God, when we are good,
He's so charming and nice to me. Gifts,
and
etc.
it is extra.
I've never felt like that.
Yes.
That's the madness.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey.
So again, so love bombing could be it's setting, from what he's saying, it's like the love bombing sets him up for gasi meisha nini,
Spice.